I've been sitting here thinking of like the most W ideas for Bed Wars, like really good ideas, and I'm gonna share them right now, bro. If the Hive did not do any of these, they like genuinely missed a huge opportunity. There's just one thing you gotta remember, okay? And that's like, that's how much the Hive can do. You saw those like events, right? Those things that they do, the seasonal events, like the pirate one and like the snow ones where you do some funny, cool, wacky things to get prizes. Those are always really fun, and I've never hated those. I always think those are epic. So what if they make this new Bed Wars game? What if they bring some of the elements from those things into Bed Wars? Well, let me explain. One of the ideas I had is, what if the maps, the new maps, or maybe even edited current maps, are like, they like pretty much change the way you play the game. They have like some, you know, hiveness added to them. Imagine the arcade hub, right? There was this one parkour course where there was like a fan that would blow you off the side of the building and force you to restart. What if at like the middle of that map, there was just a fan that would knock you off the map if you like walked past it while it was going? That would be really cool. That would also completely change the way you use that middle. That would be a very good idea. That would be really fun. You could just imagine the plays with that. That would be so cool. It also wouldn't be unfair to any players. It would just work. There's so many other options, like also from the arcade hub. You know those moving platforms? Those things that would like, you know, move around, you could stand on them, you had to walk on them to get around the courses. They could do this for like some of the new Bed Wars maps. Like imagine there's just a map where at the middle, some of the Emerald Islands are like separated. How's this kid? Okay. But think about it though. What if the Emerald Islands were like separated by those platforms and you had to like ride the platforms to get to those islands? Or the middle just had a lot of gaps and you'd have to ride those things around the middle to get stuff. That would be really cool, and that would be very good for diversified gameplay. And you might be thinking, but Chiznak, how are they gonna prevent people from placing blocks and messing it up? Just make it so you can't build there, dude. It's not that hard. The Hive can figure it out, okay? They've done a lot of things like this, and they've had to prevent people from doing it wrong. It's also not like Sky Wars where you could break the map. In Treasure Wars you can't, so it doesn't matter. You can still place blocks, but just make it so blocks can't place there. Problem solved. Some of the new maps could also have just like different obstacles at like maybe the middle or the semi-mids or something that could change early game playing. Like let's say for example there's a new map and at the middle there's some kind of like lava stream falling down, and let's say some kid's chasing you on that map and you need to get them off you, but you don't have a weapon. You can just hit them into that lava stream and get them off you that way. Think of all of the obstacles you could put there. Like I said earlier, the fan, you could put fire, you could put lava, you could put like pits, you could put parkour. You could make it so you have to parkour to things and like, oh, but they'll just cheese it with blocks. No, you can make it so that they can't do that, or that they have to go on the parkour to do it. Parkour is a kind of an if for sure, because you could place blocks, but you get the idea, right? They have like a lot of different things they could do, and if they do absolutely zero of these, like that is the most missed opportunity ever. You know that Sonic map that had like the poison at the bottom instead of the void? That was like kind of cool idea, but I was thinking, what if there's a map where instead of the void, there's like somewhat low down lava that you have to get across? That would be kind of interesting. I know that there's issues with bridging over liquids, so maybe it'd be a bit further down, but that would be kind of interesting. Maybe take some inspiration from Galaxite and have it to where if like you fall in the void, you don't necessarily die, but you probably do. I had this other idea, like a map that like is randomized. Let me explain what this means. So like a randomized map would be like, it's like a regular generic map, but every part of the map, like the semi-mids, starting islands in the middle, or pieces in the middle, they all have like these variants. It'll just randomly choose which of these variants to pick to build the map, so the map will be somewhat different every time. Themed maps, like a water themed map. Here's just like a concept idea, like a wizard map, you know, incorporate the flying platform idea from before. Maybe like you have to like kind of go up the towers, like maybe there's like towers, like spires you go up, gradually to get the emerald generators, and they're separated by flying carpets you gotta ride on or something. You know that pirate update the Hive did? They had those like weird ghoul things in the hallways, and if they saw you, you'd get like TP'd back to your base. Imagine like a ghost themed map where there's like ghosts walking around at mid near the emerald generators, and if one sees you, it like sends you back to your base or something. Having to avoid those like weird ghouls would be pretty interesting. I think items is a completely different story. Items, I really think the bar is pretty low for them for items. Items really aren't as important as a lot of people are thinking of them as. Obviously, you know, I would love to see a jump and speed item. Maybe take some of the items from the other game modes, like the one-use Nemo, and add it. You know, that seems like it could go pretty well. I know that seasons is gonna like change some of the items. So like every season, some items are removed, some items stay, you know, that kind of thing. Definitely, for sure, I think a lot of these things would totally benefit everything. It would make Hive Bedwars like, it not only is them just renaming it, making it like the Hive the Bedrock Edition Bed Wars. First of all, that's gonna gain the Hive a lot of players, because there's a lot of other servers that have things directly called Bed Wars that get way too many players just because it's called Bed Wars and people want to play Bedrock Bed Wars. When people hear Treasure Wars, they don't think Bed Wars. Anyway, that's not the point. With like all of these special cool Hive-ified things, like just Hive style features, Bed Wars could effectively just like become the Bedrock game, like for sure. This could be the Hive's thing, you know, the Hive could really stand out by doing this. They have the capabilities, they've done this kind of thing before, so I really just see this as just like a no-brainer. Some of these things are like ideas that they really should do, like those special features for middle. Anyway, those are my speculations for the update. Goodbye.